Hey guys, Crystal here, and welcome to the final game in the trilogy of the test. I wasn't the biggest fan of the second one. I felt the font was really hard to read. It was just really, really long. And the answer was correct. I mean, it was something to think about how you're not using time correctly and rethinking, reevaluating what you should be doing with that time. And that is it's a fine response. And yeah, I've been thinking about that sort of thing a lot. So it guessed on the nose. I felt myself really exhausted to the point where there was some details I didn't notice. In the top corner, there was like a body, and you couldn't see that because I think my camera was in the way, and I didn't see it either. I actually watched Markiplier's playthrough after I recorded my own to see if he got the same thing, and he did. So we're gonna get started, and I don't know what this music is. I don't think it's nearly as pretty as the second one. I will say that much. But we're gonna jump into it. Before experiencing the test final revelation, it's highly recommended that you've played the prequels, Test and the Test Hypothesis Rising before venturing into this experience. You will stand to gain a lot more from this experience if you played the first two titles, and this examination will also make a bit more sense, as it carries on from where the last examinations left off. I would like to urge you to play the other two games now before venturing forward and follow the instructions listed in those games. Blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. Would you like to close this and go into those? I have already played both of them. Well then, let's continue. As it is hyper, so there might be some cuts where I have to fix her shit. Please make sure that you're answering the questions with the utmost honesty, and you take your time to answer the questions presented. Even answering one question improperly may drastically change your outcome. You cannot go back to answer the questions you misanswered, so take your time. It is the utmost importance. I think it's like creepy, creepy, creepy music, back to being pretty. When the sun comes crashing down and the heroes fade away, when darkness is all around and there is no light of day, I will come back for you, so that you are never alone. My spirit will push through. Your heart will forever be my home. Okay, so possession, basically. And when the world spirals into the abyss, I will be standing there, your embrace long I have missed. My soul, my love, I bear. And when every nerve has been left deadened, and the ghosts have left its shell, I will bring you back to heaven and rescue you, as you've rescued me from my hell. Well, isn't that just sweet? I wonder if that's the body in the corner of the last game. I appreciate that it gave me time to read it all, even out loud. So, thanks for that. It's the Plegner! No matter what happens, I will always love you. Okay. Oh, right, I did the British voice for that one. Do you promise? With every ounce of my heart and droplet of my soul, I swear. We are going to find a way out of here. Okay. I thought the skull dude killed the person, because there's a body. Hold on. Yeah, there's a body right there. Okay, so you can see it. My camera's not that big. I wasn't expecting you so soon. Though I knew one day we would meet in this room. You see, closely I've been watching you, studying every breath and every move. A few of my former colleagues you may have met. and a slew of questions you've answered without regret. Oh God. I may be similar, but unlike them still. I'll make you swallow the truth like a bitter pill. Oh man, is he gonna be rhyming this whole time? I have a problem. I will peel your emotions from your soul. That's okay, I'm dead inside. And make you eat your feelings whole. The questions I may ask may be hard to answer, but I will cut the truth from you like a cancer. Both of us know why you're here. To open up and cast out fear. Or more like to make content for my YouTube channel. But, you know, to be honest as you can. To make angel's wings or devil's hand. The fuck? And in the end, we both will know how to escape your undertow. And time is on your side, but mistakes are not. Misanswer your questions lead to misery rot. I'm not a big poetry fan, and this guy is killing me right now. I mean, I like poetry as far as the next guy, person, thing, but, you know. Take your time to think before you decide. Dig deeper for the answers that live inside. You may not go back, you may not return. Once decision is made, into your soul it's burned. Okay, bud. Before we continue, just know this. If it's really long, I'm gonna be pissed. Your dishonesty would be very remiss. If your answers lack the guidance of truth, then your final destination will be rather uncouth. This signifies not really knowing how to end the stanza. I'm being mean. So with that being said, I need your heart's honesty. You can return from yourself, but you can't run from me. Now, let the examination begin. Do you ever feel like you just aren't good enough? Yeah. I feel like we may have covered... Hold on. Dismiss. Heard weird sound. We've probably talked about this in a few of the other two in some glaring way, in some different ways. Imposter syndrome, anxiety, depression, all those add up to yes. Do you feel like you put more effort into your friends or relationships than others put into you? No. I feel like a shitty friend. So I don't feel like I put enough into my friendships. But then again, I do have this innate ability in my soul to always do what my friends want to do, even though I secretly don't want to. No, I don't feel that way. Do you ever feel like your life is going nowhere? Yeah, occasionally. Most of the time. Do you ever feel like you're trapped in limbo? To varying degrees, yes. Do you ever feel overwhelmed by seemingly trivial tasks? Yes. Are you sometimes afraid of what your future might hold? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be a good friend? We've answered this question before. Are you afraid of death? No, not really. Are you afraid of what might come after death? I don't really want to be a ghost, but am I necessarily afraid of it? No. Do you feel as though you're wanted in life? I used to not, but there is a short list of yes. Do you ever feel like you just don't belong? Used to, but I'm indifferent, so no. Do you ever feel like a burden? Yes. Do you ever feel left out? Yes. It's the fun thing about all of the stuff in here, with all the stuff I've previously mentioned, the crazy voices of depression and anxiety and imposter syndrome, they lead toward that. Just like they lead toward this. Have you ever felt like a failure? Yes. Have you ever felt like you weren't attractive enough? Yes, but also I don't care anymore. Like, well, I never really cared about my appearance, aside from the hair thing. And growing up, one of my overarching thoughts is if I was ugly, people would leave me alone. So, no. Not technically. Do you ever feel like have you ever worked yourself sick? Hundreds of times. To the point where it has caused lasting damage that has altered the course of my plans for my future. So, fuck yes. Do you ever have racing thoughts at night that make it difficult for you to go to sleep? Fuck yes. Are you afraid to ask for help? Sometimes. Do you feel like people often criticize you? I grew up with that. Are you kidding? Yeah, I do. Even if it's not true, I do. Do you ever feel judged by your friends or your family? Yes. Oh, this is just going to be an episode of how damaged am I emotionally. Do you ever wonder what your purpose is in life? Yes. If you could turn back for any reason, would you? If you could turn back time. No. There are parts of my life I do actually really, really enjoy. And I've actually talked about it with my husband before. Like, if X happened, then I would have never done Y, so it would change everything completely. And for the parts that I do like, I wouldn't change a goddamn thing. Even this. Even the fact that my shoulder is fucked up and my back is weird to the point where my entire resume of fast food and culinary and all this crap is now useless because of the weight limits a lot of jobs require, and that it has caused a serious amount of damage emotionally, physically, whatever. I wouldn't change it, because I have AuthorTube, I have my writing, I have my art, I have things I would never have gotten back to or started if not for the fact that I damaged my shoulder. So no, I actually wouldn't, despite how crazy things are up here right now. Would you say that you have many regrets in life? No. Life is what it is, and I only have one, so why look back? Looking back just hurts. Does meeting new people for the first time make you uncomfortable? Fuck yes, we've talked about this. Does looking out at your window at night make you feel uneasy? I mean, I can't really look out my windows, because they're in weird angles and I don't see anything, so no. Like, if I look out that window, behind me, the one that's usually cast in light when I do bigger videos, you see a car tire. Fuck. Do you sometimes double check that your doors are locked, even though you are certain that you've locked them? Yes. It's like if you check the oven, make sure it's turned off, you know? Do you ever feel like life is moving too slow? Yes, I'm very impatient by nature. Do you ever feel like life is moving too fast? Well, I did once. It took forever to get my husband immigrated and him visiting and all that stuff. So there was a space in time where I'm like, this is not real. This is not real. And it was. So sometimes. Do you ever feel uncomfortable when you're home alone? Yes, that's why I got Asa. Is because I was uncomfortable and lonely and I'm home all day, so. Would you ever consider yourself to be a thoughtful person? To a point where it is probably mentally damaging. Do you ever consider yourself to be superficial? Fuck no. I don't got time for that. Do you ever judge others by the way they look or dress? Fuck no. That's been done to me so much. Why would I do that to somebody else? Do you ever consider yourself to be high maintenance? Emotionally? Yeah. But not in the way, no, I don't think not in the way that high maintenance is defined, because I'm pretty chill overall, externally. It's internally where I'm going, ah. God, I had a conversation with Stieg, one of the troublemakers, and he was talking about horoscopes. And it was basically my horse, like, my astrology sign stuff. I don't even remember which ones he said, because I know I'm a Taurus, that much I knew, but there was, like, the sun and the moon rising or whatever. I should have wrote it down when he said it, but it was, like, basically translated to, you are the person to outwardly portray that everything's fine, even though internally you're going, ah. And when he read that, I was like, Steve, shut the fuck up, because that's too close and I hate it. But no, I'm not high maintenance externally. Have you ever been bullied by someone you cared about? Yes. There are some members of my family that, you know, I cared about and mistreated, and yeah. And I didn't realize it till years. The same thing with, like, you know, friends and acquaintances and stuff like that. Like, people actually, you know, gave a shit. Because I give a shit. And it's like, the way they talk to you. I cared about, respected. I think those are the same sort of words. And then it's like they say something and you laugh it off and you think about it later and you're like, oh. Like, I had one person, when I published the first book, this was back 12 years ago. The thing that shall not be named, even though I made a video about it. Whoops. She told me that, shit, if you can, you're honestly an inspiration, because if you can get published, anyone can. And at the time, I'm like, all right. The next day, I realized what she was actually saying, and I feel like that's come up recently. Like, I've remembered that recently because things are kind of fucked up right here right now. But yeah. Have you ever been a bully to someone? Not that I know of, and I hope not, and I wish, and, like, I hope that if I did, because sometimes I don't know when I say stuff. I talked about this in the first game, I think, where I say stuff and I don't really know that it came off that way. Like, if it ever feels like I'm a bully to someone, people need to, like, come up to me and be like, hey, I don't, because I would be like, oh, fuck me, I am so sorry, I'm such an asshole. So, I don't think so. Do you keep a low profile to avoid attention from others while in crowded areas? Yes. Like I said before, all of this crap that I hate now, being the fat kid, was past me deciding that if I could just be sizable and wear baggy clothes and keep my head down with my hood up, people would leave me alone. So, yes. It's only now where I'm just like, I'm going to wear what I want, do what I want, and I'm going to start making myself better because I need to. Do you actively avoid busy places? Yes. Would you sometimes rather be alone than surrounded by people you care about? Yes. My people reserve. Like, I love my friends and my family and my husband, but sometimes the tank just runs low, you know? Does making phone calls make you feel uncomfortable? Yes. Are you sometimes afraid to confront people even when they do something that bothers you? Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Do you feel uncomfortable when committing to definitive plans for the future? Yes. Hell, I don't, like, my husband is a big proponent of, if we want a thing, put it on a board or a list for later, or we went to look at rings or jewelry that, like, he wanted to know what I liked, and I'm like, I don't want to think about that sort of thing, because I'm looking at shiny things I can't have, because I doubt my future being positive at all. So, yeah. Do you ever feel like no matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to stay motivated? Sometimes, yeah. Do you ever feel that you are failing those who care about you the most? I used to a lot. There were quite a few people in my life where I wanted to live up to their expectations. I wanted to do what they thought was right. And it started getting to the point very quickly that I stopped, like, that was too painful to do. And my dad always said, like, it's not other people you can fail, it's yourself, and that's what's most important. So I am terrified of not living up to my own expectations that are way too high. So no. Does driving a vehicle give you anxiety? Just the thought of it, yes. Fuck yes. Are you afraid of exploring new places by yourself? Yes. I lived in Niagara Falls, New York, and I never left the house. Have you ever carried an object around with you that made you feel more comfortable? Yes. I had this little malachite sphere that I used to carry around, and whenever things started to get, like, an anxiety attack or whatever have you, I'd grab it and I just kind of rolled around on my fingers. And yeah, I did that all the time. Does being around animals bring you a sense of peace? Another reason why I got Azza. Do you sometimes believe your loved ones are lying to you when they say that they care? I feel like this is an obvious answer at this point because the things in my brain's an asshole. Do you ever feel like you push your loved ones away? Yes. Which is half of my anxiety. Like, honestly, I feel like some of the things that I think about my friends and my family are self-created. And so, like, I caused myself to feel that way. I'm going to have to stop you here. The truth that pours forth is incredibly clear. I hope that you're being honest for your own health. You can try to lie, but you'll be cheating yourself. I have been super honest, buddy. Like, Destiny, go fuck yourself. I'd like to move on to the next phase of the test. A series of pictures to give your brain a rest. Oh, God. You are going to tell me what your emotional response brings out, which will show me that your mind is pondering about. Feast your eyes upon the art, and let me into your precious heart. For starters. Whoa! What emotion do you feel about this picture? I feel like it's fucking cool. Chaos. Because of all the different colors and shapes and everything. What word would you feel describes the picture best? Beautiful. Honestly, it's really pretty. What do you think this picture is called? I feel like it's a portal. I mean, I played maybe too much Final Fantasy, maybe, but... Very interesting. Moving on. What emotion do you feel most presents in this picture? Oh, I don't know if any of these words work. But I feel like it's a very cold picture, so we'll do that. What word do you feel describes this picture best? Abyss. Because I feel like this is like the astral sea. I really do. What do you think this picture is called? Corrupted wave. I see. Next we have this one. Whoa. This reminds me of my friend Deanne's paintings. What emotion do you feel most present in this picture? Again, none of these words. But I think they're relaxation, I guess. What word do you feel best describes this one? Mirrored. What do you call this? What do you think this picture is called? Reflection of the universe, because it reminds me a lot of the chart from World of Warcraft for, like, the cosmos. Noted. Take a look at this one. What emotion do you feel here? I don't feel anything. But it does remind me, again, World of Warcraft. So... what word of field best describes it? I definitely feel like it's a gateway or a hall. Because again, it reminds me of those dungeons in Northrend. What do you think this picture's called? Dimension door, stay where having the rabbit hole. Light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, light at the end of the tunnel. That's peculiar. Fuck you. And about this one? Whoa. Which emotion do you feel about this one? It's really pretty. I think this one's the prettiest one so far. What word do you feel describes this best? Abyssal. This reminds me of the Astral Sea. What I picture the Astral Sea looks like. What do you think this picture is called? The Abyssal Gaze. Let's go with that. I will make a note of that. And this here? I feel, again, like it's not as pretty as the others. Prismatic. I don't think it's mirrored. I don't think it's... let's go with Shining Light. I see. This one. This reminds me of space. This reminds me of space! Let's go with Joy. Planetary. This picture is called... Forming Earth. Because space. That's what I think it is. I think it's space. How about this? Fire. Anger. Because fire. Volcano. I'm getting dizzy. I'm getting tired. Interesting you say that. How about this one here? It's my favorite color. We're gonna go with relaxation. Cyborg. Because I kind of, like, the very middle kind of reminds me of a camera lens. Picture's called... the Data Sphere. Why not? I will make a note. Oh my god, how many pictures is gonna be? Oh, this reminds me very, like, celestial chaos. I'd say Warper Womb. Because it reminds me of, like, you know when Star Trek is going, a Star Trek ship is going through warp drive? It's kind of what it reminds me of. What do you think is Birthplace of Dreams? Why not? Look at this. Very fractal. Describe it. Data. Why not? I'll go with the Crystalverse because it's kind of crystallizy a little bit. Almost done. Bloody hell, I hope so. What do you think this picture? Chaos. It looks very bubbly and, like, always in motion. Yeah, like, it reminds me of a slime or, like, an ooze. Sludge. Oh, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of The Legends of Vox Machina, where, Pike splits it and comes out and is all glow- or no, not Pike, Sarenrae comes out when Pike is talking to her. So I would say Joy. Sunlight. The Red Angel. Hell yeah. Because it reminds me of Sarenrae. I know that's not what it's called probably, but that's what it reminds me of. You said we were almost done, you asshole. I'm getting depressed. Somebody get me out of here. You said that last time. I hate you. Meh. Now it's anger. So this time's like, I'm just saying what I feel because I don't want to do this anymore. Nebula. There we go. This better be the last one. I'm gonna be pissed. I feel nothing. Hello. Static field. I was gonna say no to harmony, but I'm like, eh. Thank you. Deep into your subconscious they dwell. I didn't read the first one, my bad. But I am not finished with you just yet. There are still some truths that you have yet to be met. As a matter of fact, this is only the start. We will have a great deal of fun before we depart. So let me challenge you on another level still. And I will pick your brain until I get my fill. This next set of questions will test your conscience more. And again, your honesty I do implore. Let's begin. 1 year you're running low on funds, purchase presents around the holidays, so you decide to spend $1 and get everyone a gift of a lottery ticket. You give each one of them their own tickets and wish them the best of luck. Actually, that's a story from Reddit. The drawing is held and your members hit the jackpot, but it's someone who you don't really get along with, and they just bought a present, and just bought a present out of moral obligation. They plan to keep the money all for themselves, as they feel like it was their ticket. How does it make you feel? Good for them, they won. Yeah. I bought them a ticket, they won, it's their gift. Like, I thought that, because there was a story on Reddit, the same thing, like, somebody did it, and the wife was like, you should take it back, because it was like a $50,000 ticket. And it's like, they fucking won, man. Very well. And what do you wish to do in this situation? Steal their ticket, get them killed so I inherit the money? What the fuck? Let them be happy with their winnings. Fuck off. If the roles were reversed and you were given a winning lottery ticket, would you share the money with your least favorite family member? Who bought you the ticket in the first place? No. Especially if it's my least favorite. I see. Now, you're walking through the forest, and you come across a black suitcase. Inside the case is $1 million. Alongside the money lies a blood-stained note with only one word written. It simply says, don't. How does it make you feel? A little anxious, like, if I take it. I would say anxious. I wouldn't take it. I don't think I would. And what would you feel about this situation? Call the police and let them know about the suitcase. 100%. If there's blood on it and there's a note, yeah, I know. If the note wasn't covered in blood, would it change your decision at all? As much as I would like to have money, like, I've grown up with not much at all, I don't think that would change my decision, because, you know, what if it's stolen money and they're able to track it sometime, and I get, you know, I've watched enough Criminal Minds and CSI and NCIS and, you know, all that sort of stuff. I don't think it would change my decision, because I wouldn't want to be blamed for a crime I didn't commit, you know? Interesting. The devil appears in your room at night while you're alone, just as you're about to fall asleep, and tells you that he has a special one-time offer for you. In exchange for your soul and eternal damnation, he will let you choose from one of 3 glorious bargains. He has not told you what those bargains are yet. How does that make you feel? Okay. So, the whole devil and hell and shit, I don't prescribe to that. I don't. I don't believe I'm going to hell. I've been told that many times. Who the hell cares? But I've watched Lucifer. Hell is only a place for damned souls, and it's mortals' guilt that keeps them in hell. So, I'm actually going to say intrigued, because I don't think eternal damnation is going to be in the cards for me, because I have nothing to feel guilty about. The devil then goes to assure you that whether or not you believe him to truly be the devil, he surely is. And to prove his point, he demonstrates magnificent magical powers and drags you to hell for a split second before you transporting you back to your bedroom. In that second, you feel a lifetime of pain and suffering in almost unimaginable ways possible. And then he goes to tell you his offers in exchange for your soul, if you can strike a bargain. Which of these would you exchange your soul for? All the wealth and power of the world. You will never age, but can still die from a physical injury. You can bring one person back from the dead, or I wouldn't sell my soul to the devil. Okay, so you have to die in order to go to hell, right? And I'm a person where I'm not going to put myself into a place where I get a physical injury. And I don't subscribe to the whole hell thing. I know it's not quite the scenario we're looking for, because it is saying that hell is real. You know hell is real. You're going to be in pain for like the rest of your eternity and blah, 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 blah. But I don't believe in hell. But in the same respect, never age, still be able to die from physical injury. I also don't like the idea of being immortal. As much as I would love to be a vampire, because let's face it, I think I've thought about that a few times. If vampires are real, I wish I'd be one of them. But the problem is I wouldn't want to see all my friends and family die. And I wouldn't want to bring one person back from the dead, because that's not a fair choice to them. All the wealth and power in the world, that's like a be careful with you witch for a monkey's paw situation. So I feel like just by the process of elimination of those answers, I just wouldn't do it. Like, you know what, bud? We're good. If the devil offered you a deal of some kind, would you accept it in exchange for eternal damnation? No. You know what? Nah. I see. Civilization is about to come to an end as a plague sweeps the globe, turning everyone into zombies. You watch everyone you know become gravely ill and turns, except for 5 of your closest friends. How does that make you feel? Incredibly sad. I don't want the world to end. Excited. I've always fantasized about the apocalypse. Scared. I don't know if I would survive the zombie apocalypse for very long. In fact, if there was a zombie apocalypse, I think I'd unlife myself. Because I don't want to live in that kind of world. I've thought about that. I've thought about it way too much. I used to watch The Walking Dead, and I'd get nightmares about the zombie apocalypse. I'm like, you know what? Living in a zombie apocalypse, I believe in reincarnation. Let's just come back when the world's not over. So, but since that's my plan, I wouldn't be scared about not surviving. I would just do what I felt like needed to be done. If you knew a zombie apocalypse was coming in 10 years from now and you could prevent it from happening. Yeah, because no one wants to live in a zombie apocalypse. Unless you're the crazy people. Interesting. You've been working at a company for 3 years, and you've been promised a very important and incredibly lucrative promotion. However, someone hired only a number of weeks ago has just been promoted to the position that you were promised. Your boss essentially tells you tough luck, and that maybe one day you'll get the promotion, and that he had to promote the other employee as a favor to a friend. Does it make you feel... This kind of thing actually happened to my dad. I got to watch what happened. I would say angry. You've learned You've also learned a few secrets about the company that could be disastrous if they were to escape, such as the fact that they haven't been properly reporting their income for the last decade. What would you wish to do in this situation? Threaten to report my boss for fraud, sabotage them, nothing. I would just quit my job and look for something else. I feel like I don't know if I would be able to stay with that company, knowing what I know, and like there's like they're lying, they're cheating, they're stealing, and they fucked me. So I don't think I would actually reverse this. I would look for new employment and then quit. If the roles were reversed and you were hired as a favor to someone, over someone, would you accept the position? If I knew that person X was like the one that deserved it, I'd be like, hey, how about I take his position and he take the one that you're offering me? Because it's a favor to somebody to get me this job. Give the gold to someone, I'll take the silver. So no, I wouldn't accept it. I see. Very interesting. You're home alone at night, cooking food in your kitchen, and you turn around and realize that someone is watching you through the window in the darkness. They have their face and hands pressed up against the window, and are making direct eye contact with you before turning and running out of sight. To the other side of the house. How does that make you feel? Anxious or scared? Anxious or scared? I was anxious, and then I would call the cops. And what would you think you would do in this situation? Lock all the doors and windows and call the police. Yeah, that. If the face you saw in the window was the face of a supernatural entity and not human being. Define supernatural being. Are we talking a vampire? Are we talking a werewolf? Are we talking a ghost? Depending on the supernatural being, I might change my answers. I'm going to present you with more potential scenarios, but I'm going to ask for more simplistic answers as a result. Here we go. You're not feeling all too well, so you decide to go to the doctor. The doctor runs a series of tests, gets back to you shortly, and announces some grave news. Turns out that you've contracted an incredibly rare illness, and there is no cure. This illness causes complete bodily paralysis within 6 months of contraction, meaning it's less than half a year from now, you'll be rendered unable to move, blink, talk, or anything else whatsoever. You will need to be kept alive with a feeding tube, and you will never be able to communicate with anyone ever again. You will just be kept alive by machines in a vegetative state. Would you be kept alive, or would you rather the plug be pulled? If there is no cure, and there will never be a cure, I don't want to be trapped in a shell I can't control. It's half the reason why my shoulder makes me so sad. So yeah, fucking just let me go. I believe in reincarnation. I'll be back. And I don't want to put my husband or my friends or anyone in that type of pain. You know? Let's pull the plug. 100%. It kind of felt weird. How would you feel spending the last 6 months of your life? Were you still mobile? If I knew, I just want to go to sleep and not wake up. Yeah. I don't know if I'd wallow in self-pity. I don't like the wallow, so I'll pick that. There are diseases out there that can put you in a sort of uncomfortable situation. Does knowing this motivate you to do things you've never done before and pursue more in your life? Do you feel relatively unaffected by that knowledge? I don't know if it does either. Like, right now, I feel very weird about that situation, and it's kind of making me feel down. But there's nothing I would be able to do. Like, I'm not a doctor. I'm not in that sort of headspace or skill level or whatever. So I don't think it really changes anything. Noted. You have a pet dog, whom you raised from its birth. 3 years have passed, and it's the best dog you've ever had. You'd love it as your own child, and one day it runs away in the middle of the night, chasing after wild animals in the darkness. You search everywhere for the dog, and no matter how much you do, you can't seem to find it. About a month passes, and you still haven't traced your four-legged friend until one morning you awake to familiar barking. You rush outside and feel your elderly neighbor in his late 80s is out on his front lawn, joyously playing with your dog. He is named the beast Johnny, and they both seem to be having the time of their lives. You rush over and you hug your dog, and he licks your face. Your neighbor says, Johnny is a good boy, isn't he? I lost him when I was a boy, about your age. But he's come back. Johnny has come back. We're together again. Oh, come to find your elderly neighbor suffering from dementia. Recently brought on by stress and the heartache of losing his wife. The dementia has caused him to believe that your dog, Johnny, is his old dog from his childhood, and it makes him happy and keeps him company. The dog seems to be great shape, happy, well looked after, but telling the old man he isn't really your dog, it's your dog, would break his heart. Would you break the news that isn't your dog and take Johnny home with you, or would you let the old man keep the dog? I feel like in this case I would let if the dog is super happy with the old dude, I would let the old man keep the dog, but I would think I would try to help the old man out, like if there's anything he needed, or like if he wanted the dog to be taken for a walk or whatever. Like, I would try to kind of, like, be somewhat a part of the dog's life. Even though, yeah, I would let the old man keep the dog, but I would ask if the old man needed any help. And I would try to help him so I could still see my dog. This question is very much depressing me because I am terrified, absolutely terrified, of Azza getting out. I don't know what I'd do. I've never had a cat like her before. Please, God, let this be over soon. Does the story make you sad at all? Yes. Can you imagine yourself in the old man's position, being so alone in life, finding one thing that makes you happy and potentially having to face being ripped away from you? Yeah, I can. Easily. Next question. Let's say that you're being viciously murdered by a serial killer. Well, that's a switch. You fell for one of their traps and they lured you in and made them your last victim. Now, let's say that you are given a unique opportunity in the afterlife as you return as one of the spirits who roam the earth. However, you are bound to two potential options. Only two. You can either choose to haunt your assailant, and make his life miserable, hopefully foiling his plans. That sounds like a supernatural cop show. Or you can choose to spend your life with those amongst your still living family friends and guide them in ways to make their life better. You are bound to whichever option you choose. Either your family and friends are no longer living, or the killer is no longer living. I think, as much as it would be really fun and campy to haunt the serial killer, actually, no. I would not, because not all of my family, I don't think a lot of my family members would be able to handle being haunted. So, yeah, I would go with the campy option, let's be real. Do you think you have what it takes inside you to drive the killer insane and push them over the edge? If he killed me, I'd be a vengeful, angry spirit, so yeah. Do you believe this scenario is possible? No. Yeah, I mean, theoretically. If the situation happened to a friend or family member and they were viciously killed, which situation would you rather them choose? Yeah. I would rather them choose the crampy option too. Next question. One night you go to sleep and get a good rest. It feels like the best sleep you've ever had. You wake up in an unfamiliar room, in an unfamiliar bed, and you look in the mirror and hardly recognize yourself. You've aged 20 years. There is a sticky note to the television that says press play. And you oblige the note. It is a message that has been left for you from all your family and friends that are still alive and well, though they seem to be 20 years older. They explain that every single day for the last 20 years you have repeated the same day over and over again. Due to the severe... This is just 50 first dates. This is just the end of 50 first dates. Doesn't last more than 24 hours. When you go to sleep, it's... yeah. Your loved ones have made the video to let you know to let you stay in your potential future. You have the option of either watching this video every single day so that you know what's going on and can continue your progress in life, even though you won't have any recollection of it, or you could choose to continue living the way you are, repeating the same day over and over again, living in bliss. Ignorance. I'd watch the video every day and try to get a semblance of life. Yeah, I would. Would it upset you if your family kept telling you the truth over 20 years, even though they felt like it was for your own good? I mean, I feel like I'd feel bad a little bit, yeah. If your best friend was in the situation, would you make a video telling them what was going on, or would you repeat? I would do it. Like, yeah, I would totally do it. And based on how, like, if they wanted to just live in bliss, then I would let the choice be up to them, I think. Through frantic digging in the attic, reading old files, newspaper articles, you've come to find your parents were famed psychologists. You've also come to find that they aren't really your parents. In fact, that they're not related to you at all. From what you gather through your discoveries, the story tells of a young child who developed psychosis tendencies and went into a trance before murdering their parents. I feel like this is a plot to another movie I've heard of, but I can't actually name this one. However, the child has suffered from the trauma from the events and lost their parents. Once trance has worn off, they repress the memory, blocking it from the mind. Wait, would this be the number 23? Two psychologists took the child and performed studies and knowledge, raising the child fully functioning adults while playing the role of the real parents, and further gather data, potentially help the child avoid a terrible life. You are the child. Would that represent... Would you resent your would-be parents? No. I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. Would you be grateful they gave you a second chance at life? Yes. Would you feel betrayed from the secret they've kept from you? Probably. I feel like that's a plot of a movie. Would you confront them about the articles you found? Yes, because I would want to know every facet about me. If you were in that potential position, would you do the same for the child? Probably. Interesting. I have one final scenario before we move on. The end of the world has come and gone, and left post-apocalyptic soldiers roaming the lands, combing towns and laying waste to any survivors in their path, claiming their equipment for themselves in order to survive the harsh, barren wasteland of planet Earth. Now, this is the plot of Fallout. You get in good with large colonies of soldiers and spend 6 months with them. Decide that you're not pulling your weight in order to save every food rations they have left. They exile you from the compound. You have to fend for yourself. You decide to venture the neighboring town, hoping to find food that was left behind by raiders. It takes you about a day before you strike gold. A hidden underground bunker stockpiled to the brim with enough food to feed the entire colony. Now you make a few choices. Would you take it back to the colony and tell them about the bunker? Or would you stay in the bunker all by yourself? I feel like I would take it back to the colony. Here's why. Because I probably get back in. If I stay in the bunker all myself, what's to say that they won't come find me and kill me in a horrible, horrible way? If you could choose only to tell some of the soldiers about the bunker and so you could lead your own colony in exiles the shoulders. Yeah, sure. Like, hey, I'm starting my own group. Let's go. If you were... Whoops. I didn't read that one. Fuck. My finger did the twitchy thing. If you were a leader of the colony that exiled you, except it was you who exiled someone who wasn't pulling their weight. And that person happened to find themselves in the similar situation, but they refused to share with the colony. Would you raid them and steal the food for yourself? They can keep it. I don't fucking care. Very interesting. That wraps up this portion of the test. It's almost over. How long have I been recording for? I can't tell. But I need more from you before I allow you to rest. A choice here, a choice there. Which would you rather? More of the dilemmas abound from what I can gather. And you will answer them clearly, crisp and concise. Will you be selfish, or your conscience of ice? In just a mere moments from now, we'll both see the difference between who you are and who you wish to be. Let's begin. Oh, it's creepy music again. Would you rather abandon the person you love the most, or be abandoned by the person you love the most? I would rather be... I constantly think that my husband will get bored of my bullshit and leave me, so... Would you rather have friends in high places who could get you anything you wanted, but not necessarily care, or friends that wouldn't be able to give you anything? A deep personal bond. Hell yeah. I think I saw something move. Is stuff moving? Would you rather spend $10,000 and keep it for yourself, or find 20, but have to split it 4 ways? Try to think. Hubby, me, grandma, dad. 20 divided by 4... 5,000 each? I would split it. Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, I think I'd split it. Would you rather cheat on your partner and never get caught, or have your partner, or know that your partner cheated on you? Neither. Neither of these are good. Yeah, both suck. Would you rather get rich through illegal means, or be poor with an honest life? Poor, but honestly. Would you rather press a button that would kill your favorite pet, or press a button that would kill your favorite family member? Basically, I'm choosing between Azza and my dad. Neither. Note, I would not push this button. If I was presented with this, I would not do it. Both would break my heart to an unrepairable level. Would you rather get fired from a high-paying job, or have to fire your friends from a high-paying job? I'd get fired. Personally, I'm the self-sacrifice bitch. Would you rather sleep with your step-sibling, or sleep with your best friend's partner? Like, neither. I don't fit in either of these goddamn bubbles. I don't even have a step-sibling. So, yeah, I'm gonna pick that, because technically I don't have one, so I wouldn't be sleeping with anyone. Would you rather save your best friend from certain death, or let 1,000 strangers die, and let 1,000 strangers die, or let 1,000 strangers... So, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Yeah, I feel like I'd save my friend. Would you rather get free food for the rest of your life, or rescue a starving child from a third world country? Free food. I spend so much on food, and I can never afford the food I know I need to survive. I keep buying cheap. If I could have free food, then I wouldn't have to worry about rent. Like, I'd have money for rent. Because sometimes, lately, it feels like I'm either choosing food or a roof over my head. So, yeah. Sorry, starving child. Would you rather be rich, but without family, or poor with family? I mean, without, like, there are Parts of my family I like, parts of my family I don't. Would you rather steal food for the rest of your life in order to eat, or steal enormous amounts of money from the wealthy, but have to destroy the money immediately after? See, I don't even understand the moral implications of this one. I'd be Robin Hood. I think I'd be Robin Hood. Would you rather serve 4 years in the military during wartime, or move to a third world country and never be allowed to return home? Both. I would die. I would just die. Like, either way, I would serve in the military. I'd be a secretary. Would you rather always be traveling 10 miles above the speed limit, or 10 miles per hour below the speed limit? Below. I have no concept of how fast that is, but I'd rather be slower than faster, because momentum will get you killed. Would you rather never have sex for the remainder of your life, or have sex every day in order to stay alive? I would never have sex again. I am ace. I am sex repulsed. Yeah. Would you rather be addicted to hardcore drugs for 10 years but make a full recovery, or addicted to alcohol for the rest of your life? Both suck. I think I'd die either way. Again, I think I'd die either way. Hardcore drugs for 10 years. Would you rather live over 200 years in a perfectly preserved youthful body, vampirism, and watch your friends, family, and die around you, or live to 70 but die before your friends and family? I would live to 70. I've stated, as much as I would love to be an immortal, I'm 70 would be an early death for my family. Anyone in my family, especially the women in my family. The women in my family live long. I think my great grandma was 99 when she went, and my grandma is 80 right now. Our bloodline lives for long enough. And yeah, so 70 is fine. Would you rather sacrifice all of your friends in order to survive, or sacrifice both your parents? See, again, I probably wouldn't sacrifice both of them if I could help it. I don't know if I want to sacrifice my friends, because this option doesn't affect just me. It affects all of the people in their lives. I feel like that just affects less. Would you rather get acknowledged for your work that you didn't do, or work hard for the rest of your life and not receive any praise? Work hard and receive not any praise, because I worked at Tim Hortons for 10 years and that's just what you get used to. What would you rather, punch a nun or get punched by a nun? I would love to get punched by a nun, because I think that would be fucking hilarious. Because it would just be so random. Like, because I don't go to a church or anything like that. I'm not around nuns. So a random nun just walks up to the street and punches me? That's a story. I would never want to punch a nun, because nuns are... You just... No. I'd get punched by a nun. Would you rather lose all your money you've earned this year, or lose all your memories? I would lose all of the money that we've earned, because it doesn't change all the bills I've paid. It doesn't change all the stuff we've gotten. It doesn't change the progress, especially since I think I only have like $20 in my bank account right now. But I would never want to lose all the memories, because AuthorTube and stuff I've talked about at frickin' nauseum. Would you rather flip a coin for a chance to win $20, or immediately win 10? Let's go with guaranteed $10. Would you rather know how you die, or when? How? I think. Would you rather be blind but able to see crystal clear underwater, or be deaf always? I don't like being underwater, so I would be permanently deaf and learn sign language and write notes. Yes. Would you rather give up all internet and social media but be able to travel the world for free? Or have the best internet in the world but never leave your house? Survey says, would you rather walk barefoot across the bed of hot coals or walk barefoot through a pitch black snake infested corridor? Barefoot across hot coals, because if you walk fast enough, you do not get burned. If you walk too fast in a snake pit, you get bit more. Would you rather be the judge who sentences a person to death or the executioner? Judge. Would you rather live as a witch would you rather have a witch cast a nasty hex on you, so you'll always have bad luck, or be haunted by a demon intent on possessing you? Both suck. We'll go with the hex. I think we'll go with the hex. Would you rather be married to someone incredibly beautiful, or find someone beautiful who doesn't find you attractive? Or be married to someone who you are not even remotely attracted to, but they find you incredibly attractive? I am married to someone I'm not attracted to, which is kind of how it is with me and my husband. Not in the strictest sense. I have a low self-opinion of myself, but he finds me freaking smexy. So, and I just don't have a physical attraction to people. So, would you rather work at a high-paying job that you despise or a low-paying job that you love doing? I would go with the low-paying job I love, because as long as I'm paying all the bills and still able to do stuff, yeah, as long as I love it, man. Like, would you rather walk 1 mile home wearing a pair of socks or be fully clothed and walked 100 miles to get home? I'd walk 100 miles. And I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more. Would you rather find $5 in your pocket or grab $100 out of a public toilet? No, I'm not comfortable in public bathrooms. $5. Would you rather have 100 of your favorite books but never watched a movie again, or 100 of your favorite movies but never have to read? That's hard. I mean, I'm not a big reader anyway, so I don't know if I have 100 books. I feel like I'm not answering either of those, so I just picked one. Would you rather always be 20 minutes late for everything or 2 hours early? This is, for the most part, actually how I live my life. Except for it's not 2 hours. No matter what I do, what I plan, I plot, I possibly scheme, I'm always early. Always early. Would you rather find a dead body or witness a deadly assault? Find a dead body. No. Witness a deadly assault. I can call the police. Would you rather be able to change your past or see what your future holds? Look into the future. Would you rather have 1 really great friend or 100 mediocre? 100 mediocre. Would you rather lose all of your teeth or lose 1 day off your life for every time you've kissed someone? Yeah, we'll do that one. Would you rather win the lottery and lose the ticket before you collect the money, or have your worst enemy? I don't really have a worst enemy. I'll go with that one. Would you rather find true love or have a dream job? I've already found true love. Well, as much of true love is defined as my hubby is my person, so I've already found him. So I don't need to find someone else. So dream job. Would you rather have a pause button for life or a rewind? Rewind. Pauses suck. Would you rather drown to death in gasoline or boiled to death in water? Neither. I would say boiled, because if you do it slow enough, you don't actually notice you're being boiled to death until you go to sleep. Would you rather make a new friend every day and get $100? Or get $100 a day for doing nothing and never have friends again? I don't like making new friends. I love my friends. I don't need more. Would you rather die to save your family or sacrifice your family? I would rather sacrifice myself. Yeah, save my family. Would you rather always be hated by the closest to you for something you didn't do, or have to hurt everyone you care about, but they'll never find out it was you? Yeah, I'd rather be hated. It's fine. Would you rather sleep with your worst enemy or sleep with someone who, has many incurable STDs? Again, I don't have a worst enemy, so I would sleep with my worst enemy. Would you rather only eat food you didn't like or give up all liquids except water? Okay. See, the second one is something I probably should do. Would you rather always listen to music at max volume or always listen to music just at the lowest? Very low volume. That's what I do anyway. Would you rather meet your hero and find out they don't like you, or never meet your heroes at all? I'd never meet my hero because I don't know if I have any heroes. Would you rather never have a pet for the rest of your life or never have friends for the rest of your life? I have a pet. So I think I would look at this as, what if I never got a dog? Because I always wanted a dog. So, yeah. Would you rather live in excruciating pain for the rest of your life or live pain-free, but everyone you know and love will be in excruciating pain? I would rather live in excruciating pain. And I live with multiple different types of chronic pain. Thank you for your questions, but we are not done yet. For we have made it through many categories except one. The final questions will be from deep within. I want to see your soul. Have you stopped rhyming? I want to see your heart quicken. I want to learn what you know. I want to see what makes you think. I want to see what makes you tick. I want to see your darkest truths. I want to know what makes you sick. I want you to expel the truth from yourself. I want you to feed your precious fate. I want you to learn all you love, all you bathe with all your hate. One last time we sit together as we wait the final revelation. The last question I have, the last examination. Take your time, do think hard, savor every moment dearly. For when you're finally finished with you, we'll see you ever so clearly. He has not stopped rhyming. And here we go. Do you feel like you lie closest to you? Do you ever lie to those who are closest to you? Depends on the lie, but yeah. Do you ever feel like you hurt someone who didn't deserve it? No. Maybe. I probably should hit yes. Have you ever lost your temper when you know you shouldn't have? Yes, I used to be a very angry person. Have you ever intentionally hurt an animal? No. I thought I did once. I booped Azzy with a book. I wasn't paying attention. I went to go put a book on my desk, and I didn't know she was there, and I bopped her in the head, but she seemed fine. Have you ever blamed someone for something that you know they didn't do? No, I don't think so. Have you ever abandoned a pet? Yes. Well, technically no. I rehomed them. I had a puppy once. His name was Midnight, and I was going through a lot at the time, and I was living with my mom. She had a big basset hound, big chonker of a dog, and the little Pomeranian puppy kept eating the big dog's food, and my mom basically said, it's your pet or mine. So yeah. Have you ever abandoned a loved one in a time of need? I don't think so. Have you ever stolen something from someone that you cared about? No. Have you ever broken something to spite someone that you cared about? No. Have you ever played the victim in a situation even though you hadn't been wronged? No. Have you ever had romantic feelings for someone who wasn't your partner while you were in a relationship? I talked about this in the last game. There was a time in my life where, like, hubby was far away back when we were dating, and he's like, you can be in a relationship with someone else. It's totally cool. So, yeah. Have you ever wished for the death of someone who had wronged you? No, I don't. At least I don't think so. Have you ever wished for the death of a loved one? No. If you knew that writing someone's name on a piece of paper could instantly cause their death, would you write down? If I had the death note, that would be so cool. Except for I would totally not turn into a god freak like Kira did. I think I'd do it. I would totally be Kira. Do you feel like you could spend more time with your loved ones more than you currently do? Yes, but no. Do you ever feel like you've owed someone an apology but refuse to apologize for them? Yes. Everyone's had that moment where you realize maybe you took something too far, but apologizing wouldn't fix it. So I think, yeah. Do you ever regret worrying too much about things you can't control? Yes. Do you ever feel like your negativity brings others down? Constantly. That's why I avoid my friends. And I avoid talking about my problems because they don't need to be bothered by my bullshit. Do you ever regret not standing up for yourself when you feel like you've been wronged? Yes. Do you ever feel like you've let others influence the decisions? Making too much? Yes. I was influenced to stop writing 12 years ago. And I should not have allowed myself to be influenced. Do you ever wish that you lived a more honest life? I'm as honest as I am. Has your dishonesty caused someone else to suffer? No, because I'm not a dishonest person. Do you ever feel... Why do I keep saying it? It's like, have you ever had someone leave your life before you had a chance to tell them something important? Yeah. When my gran died. This is the fucking shittiest story. Wow. Went over one day, it was shortly after meeting hubby. Hubby getting here, I mean. And it's like, yeah, like, we're planning on getting married, and, like, I want to make sure you can come. And she looked at me, and she's like, I'm not going to be there. And I didn't understand it at first, and she died later that year. When I talked to her, she was fine. And I think it was later that year or the year after. So, yeah, 100%. Do you ever feel like you polarize people in your life that you're unworthy of? Do you ever feel like you prioritize people in your life that aren't worthy of your time? Yes. Do you ever feel like you prioritize your own wants before others need most? I'm starting to try to do that. Sometimes people think they need me and they really just need therapy. Do you ever feel like you spend too much time working towards something that you're not truly passionate about? Yes. I talked about that in the last game, or like with the answer of wasting time. Right now I'm in this weird position where I'm passionate about some things and I'm not passionate about other things, and I'm constantly worried if I'm wasting my time. So yeah. Do you feel like you're living up to your full potential? No, not really. That's the whole point, isn't it? Do you ever let your fears stop you from pursuing things you truly want? Yes, that's why it took me 12 years to get back into writing. Have you ever refused to try something because you were afraid you would fail? Yes. Have you ever been attracted to someone but refused to let them know because you were afraid of being rejected? Yes. Do you ever feel as though you're chasing wrong things in life? Yes. Do you ever feel like you spend too much time planning for the future and ignore the present? No, because I'm stuck at planning for the future. Do you ever feel like your friends and family like you more than you like them? No, I feel the opposite, actually. Do you ever have you ever loved a pet more than your family? I love my cat. I love Azza. Azza's the cutest little cuddle butt. Do you ever make up excuses to get out of going to events instead of just telling all the time? Because I don't want to deal with the drama. I have faked sick so many times and will continue to do so because I just don't want to tell them. I don't want to go to their stupid dinners because they are boring as fuck. And if one of them watches this video, I'm gonna fucking die. Do you ever feel like you spend more time with technology than you do building stronger bonds? I don't know if I'd go that far. Have you ever defended someone that you shouldn't have? Yes. We all trust people we shouldn't from time to time. Does sometimes have a hard time admitting that you're wrong? Yes. Do you ever place blame on personal failures or someone else's or something else? I feel like when I was a kid, I blamed a lot of the problems I was having on my trauma. So yes, technically. Have you ever accused someone of something with no real evidence? No. Have you ever had sex with someone whom you shouldn't have? No, because I've never had sex. Have you ever had any kind of relationship with someone of whom you shouldn't have? Minor. Yeah, yes-ish. I feel like I shouldn't have let... There was one relationship that I had I feel like I should have ended sooner. So, yeah. Have you ever let a relationship degrade because you were too afraid of being the one to break up with someone? No. Do you ever feel like you could take better care of your... Fuck yes. We've talked about this ad nauseum. I'm working on it. Have you ever let someone else take the blame for something you did? No. Have you ever acquired something that you didn't really want just because someone else wanted it? That is petty. No. Have you ever feel like you're not living up to others' expectations? Yes, but it's do I care about it as much anymore? No. Have you ever walked out of someone's life without any explanation? Yeah. Do you ever feel like you focus more on the negative aspects of your life? What you don't have rather than being grateful for what you do? Yes. Have you ever witnessed someone being wronged but didn't have the courage to stand up to them? No, because that has happened to me the one time, and that is how I ended up moving out of my mum's. And finally, do you feel like you're a good person? I feel like I'm okay person. I don't know. I don't know. Very interesting. That concludes the ending of your examination in your mind. I have dug myself in a hole. I'll analyze your answers very carefully, and now it is time to gaze into your soul. This is preposterous. This simply cannot be. I have expected every potential outcome, but you seem to evade even me. I was prepared to tell you your fate, to play upon your fear, to break down the worst news, to plant the seeds of doubt in your ear. But as I've asked you to be honest with me, I must in turn be honest with you. For as much as I wish to lie, I am forever shackled to the truth. From what I can deduce from deep within, everything you shared with me, please don't make me cry again. I shall in turn share this with you. This is what I see. Very interesting. You're not as naive as you come across. And I mean that in a good way, for the record. You can be skeptical sometimes, and you're nobody's fool. And even when someone managed to pull the fast one on you, good luck to them trying to make it happen twice. You're highly intelligent, and you learn from your mistakes, which has taken you very far in life thus far, however. The issue is you spend a lot of extra time second-guessing yourself, and others at times, and you waste a lot of valuable time trying to figure out the motives of another rather than going to the flow and seeing what happens. This is a defensive mechanism that your mind has created to prevent you from being swindled and potentially hurt. This is both good and bad, and it can protect you from a lot of negative situations. However, it can also hinder you by forcing you to miss a lot of incredible opportunities by taking a chance. My advice to you would be to open up a little bit more, let your hair down, and let your guard down. Let your walls down. You will feel so much better and get so much further in life if you just take time to relax and say yes more often. New opportunities. Stop spending so much time thinking about what could go wrong and cut it down to only 1 second thinking of what could go right. You miss 100% of the opportunities you do not take. And not everyone is out to get you. I think you'll be very surprised just how positive of an impact you can have to your life going forward. Hope this information helps achieve your goals. Your secret word is trusting. Remember this word. It will come in handy. If you receive the ending you've already received before from previous, remember, we did not ask your secret words prior to the test, so that should be very telling. It means something very special if you result in the same thing as you got previously. We'd like you to add the phrase twin words to your next secret word in the comments. If you received a entirely new outcome, then that means you've got multiple layers of things to work on in your journey. And you may just have an extra layer of depth to your personality. But only you will know the answer comes to that. You've answered hundreds of questions, found deeper meanings. You've been enlightened, and you've helped others find enlightenment. Many people have wondered just what the series of tests is truly about, but it's simple. The answers are always so much more simple than we believe them to be. The test is about you. The reflection in your darkest screen, the one who seeks the answers. The person who seeks the answers. More than being about the answers, the test is more about the question. It's about making you think, about encouraging you to open up and admit you're human. Just as human as everyone else. The test is about unity. The test is about compassion. The test is about bringing people together and showing the world that we are not so different after all. Look at the secret words that have been left in the comments. Look at the thousands of people who, just like you, who feel lonely sometimes. We are all flawed, and we all feel pain. But that's because every single one of us is human. The words judge another based on many variables, but their most hypocritical set of variable imaginable. Sorry, I'm having a rough time reading. We judge each other, and we've judged ourselves by our peers who do the same exact shit that they judge us on in the end. And we judge them, and that we judge them for too. You feel flawed because you are flawed. You feel afraid because you have a right to be. You feel overwhelmed because the world is overwhelming. Depression is overwhelming. Anxiety is overwhelming. Our problems are overwhelming. Suicide is an epidemic. We're losing our loved ones before their time. And any one of us can fall in our hardest times in our lives at any given moment. And we can lose everything we have and love instantly and unexpectedly. Because one thing that we are not is alone. You are never alone. We are flawed because we are human. We are scared because we're all human. We fight these battles every single day because we're all human. But you never have to feel alone in your fight. Look at all the secret words that have gathered that match yours. And look at all the ones that don't match yours. Perhaps those people are going through struggles that you have yet to experience or know nothing about. And perhaps those others not yours either. But don't judge those who are struggling. Help them. Just as you wish to be helped in your time of need. Don't be afraid to ask for help and reach out to those who are. Everyone is suffering. Some of us just suffer quieter than others. We are all in this together, and the test series has helped bring so many people together and has made so many people feel less alone. We've read your comments, and others are free to do so as well. We've read about these games have helped you. We've read about how much positivity they've spread. We've read how many people say that their lives are changed forever, and I'll tell you one thing. For every one life saved in the process of this social experiment, then it is one worth conducting. Every single one of you that has left a comment is a hero. By leaving the comments, you've helped spread the message to others. You've helped spread positivity and light in a very dark time for so many people. And those people have you to thank for it. There are so many people in this world who do nothing for others, and they continue to do nothing for others. They won't lift a finger to help others around them because they don't understand that someone's suffering is just as much as they are. They're just too afraid to open up about it. But not us. We've opened up quite a lot, haven't we? We're brave enough to answer these questions that so many people fear admitting to. We are brave enough to take the chance and leave a secret word as our symbol. And for that, Random Sub Studios would like to thank you for not only placing your name in the credits, at the end of this game, so the world knows the good deeds you're spreading and participating, but we've also have another surprise for you. Everyone who has left a comment in our titles will be continue future titles will be put into the credits for a new massive project we've been working on, but that's not the good part. We'll also be going through and selecting these names, those who leave the comments on all our titles, and putting their names right into the actual game and storyline, whether it be a special item, a piece of lore, or a character named after them, or so much more. Now, as for your secret words go. Your secret words play a pivotal role in our project. You will plug your secret words into a different part of your journey when they are requested, and it will alter the game in ways set specifically. Sorry, I'm still struggling. This is an RPG where every choice matters, where every choice and decision make changes something about your session. This is an RPG that focuses on every human emotion and the decisions we make and how the decisions make us feel. Keep an eye out for a future project, Chasing Demons, where every NPC from all of our titles will be represented in the storyline. You've helped shape it. You've helped make it what it is. And be sure to continue to add more and more players into the lore of the gameplay. We'll add more and more comments left to the titles, all the way up until its official release. And again, to commemorate those who participated across our titles, we will periodically be selecting names from all of our titles. Thank you so much for everything you've done for us and everything you continue to do for the world. Take the secret word that was assigned to you at the end of your session and leave it in the comments for us. We will be selecting them to be included in future projects. Don't be afraid. Opportunity to be a part of history, to be a part of something greater. Note that your secret word in the comments. We greatly appreciate your feedback and support. We've read every single review. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for everything. And thank you for playing and contributing. A word from the developers. If any of these games save one life, it is worth it. And that means you're a part of it. You're part of someone's life. Saving someone's life. Most people would live their entire lives never having done something special like that. Even if you don't particularly find anything useful from the test series. Just by you spreading the word, you've helped others find something beneficial. You're going too fast. So thank you. Some will go on their entire life selfishly, leaving a finger to help. There's a place for that type of people in the world. We need people who like to create balance. Sorry, I'm running out of energy. We need in order to help and appreciate. But these games have helped people, and that means you've helped people. You've left a comment. You've part of this. If you don't believe me, take a look at yourself and read the words the people have left in the rest of the world to see. Look at the joy and the positivity in the dark times. The one thing we all have in common is that we're human inside, and it doesn't matter where it comes from or how we grew up or what we've been through, what our opinions are. Is how we judge and are judged. In the end, we're all human. We all feel. We all have the same thought. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for encouraging the other part. Thank you for spreading the word. Thank you for opening your heart and your mind in order to create acceptance, not only for everyone, but yourself as well. Even in our differences, we aren't so different after all. We are all in this world together. Let's make it a happy state for everyone. Fuck. Keep hold of your secret words. You're going to need them when you're chasing demons. Oh shit, there's more. I will peel the truth from your flesh from the petals of the blackened rose. She loves me. Don't do this. She loves me not. She loves me. Please, I beg you. She loves me not. The fuck is this? She loves me. She loves me not. She will never love a monster like you. I had to remember her voice for a second. So let her choice take its toll. And in her cell may she rot. Okie dokie. That was weird. Okay. Oh, I can just hold down the mouse and speed through the credits. Cool. We've made a list of the names who supported our project along the way. Would you like to see them now? I'll look at them later. Well, fuck me! I don't know how long I've been recording for, because I can't see the timestamp. But that was a lot. Yeah. I was having a good old cry there, because, yeah. I feel very... I don't know if I can articulate it, but I've been struggling pretty hard this last week. And I try to put myself into work, into the book, into planning. And I know what I'm doing is unhealthy. I think I mentioned that before. But I just don't know what else to do. Because sometimes it's better to work than to think. And the fact that talking about not alone, and obviously, like, I feel like this, like, I don't want to imply, or, like, I can't speak for the developers, but I feel like this was made by someone who lost someone. And the message at the end was not what I expected. Now the message I got at the end was not what I expected. I want to, like, give my final thoughts and be critical and talk about whether or not I enjoyed the game or I didn't enjoy the game, and I think I did. The series was definitely an interesting experiment, but I'm having emotions right now, and yeah. Fuck. Not what I expected. Not even a little. I might sit for this and, like, try to think about it, and I might attach my thoughts. It took 103 minutes. Shit. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed series, this video, learning more about me. I was answering as honestly as I could. If you like the video, comment down below what you think. Continue the conversation. Because, like they said, we're not alone. And Lord, help us all. We know these last 2 years have been rough for everyone. So, sound off in the comments. Because we're not alone, and we have each other. We have this community. So, I'm sending all of the love and the hugs. And to those who are suffering, you're not alone. We will get through this. I feel weird plugging the stuff I do at the end. So thank you so much for watching. I love and appreciate every single one of you. And we'll see you guys in the next video. I wish I had more thoughts I could vocalize, but it's all thought, no action. Bye!